Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rudd, the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com, and welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎您收看今天的直击美股栏目，我是贝赛宁，现在纽约向您问好。首先，我们看一下美股大盘在今天的一个整体走势。那么，在连续数天上涨之后，美股在周四是显现出了一点疲态，开盘后便是随即承压下跌。在标普500指数跌破了2090点之后，我们可以看到市场 VIX 恐慌指数也是出现了上升。今天一些最新公布的企业财报是喜忧参半，那么原油期货价格也是在短暂回暖之后迅速回落。在标普10大行业板块当中，今天有6个板块是出现了下跌，其中公用事业、医疗保健和消费品板块是领跌大盘。但是随着防御性股票的下跌，我们可以看到投资者的风险偏好也有所改变。再来看一下经济数据方面，周四公布的经济数据也是好坏不一。首先是美国劳工部公布的这个当周首领失业金人数下滑了6000人至24.7万，创下了自1973年11月来的一个历史最低水平，显示美国劳工市场的状况依然是相当强劲。但是费城联储发布的这个4月费城制造业指数则是大幅下降至负的1.6，表明制造业仍然在受到经济形势的影响，处于下滑状态，导致本月的数据再次录得负数。好，那么关于美股市场的更多消息，我们来听一下交易员我们带来的独家点评。
First, let's talk about Apple because Apple stock just entered bear market territories today on worries about iPhone sales. So, do you actually expect a rebound from here, or do you think the Apple iPhone handover is not over yet?
Well, Apple has come into this year with a lot to prove. Last year was in a downtrend. It was very heavy. So when we had a rebound, in the start of this year, the question was how long would it last? So we had to use the technicals. Now, I know that people say, oh, it's in a bear market territory now.
Right.
But for those that kind of watch the show, or follow me on the VTF, they know that on Friday, when the stock lost the 200-day moving average, that was your time to get out. Not when they say it's in bear market territory, because chances are it already pulled back and it might be ready to find support. So you look here at the chart of Apple, and you will see, the stock has been under pressure ever since the earnings report all the way up here. You had a rally that failed when it broke below this ascending channel. Then this year was interesting. This is when we started talking positively. You had a nice little base, broke out, held, was above all the moving averages, and then when it couldn't get above the 200-day and stay above the 200-day, that was your technical out. Because look at this ascending channel that broke to the downside. So I think there is validity to bringing down the Apple iPhone estimates, because I don't know anyone getting the new one, and people who have the 6 are probably waiting for the 7. So I would say for Apple, with the weakness in tech, I would wait to look for an entry a little bit closer to the 50-day. That's around 103.60, because earnings aren't until next week.
So besides Apple, today's really all about tech sector earnings. We got Alphabet, Microsoft, Starbucks. Now they're all down after hours. So there's a $2 trillion valuation to be tested here. What's your expectations? Should we look to the downside here?
Well, I think that the sentiment is going to shift to where everyone's like, will Alphabet break out? Will it be enough? Can it lead? So now the question is, can it hold the 50-day or the 200-day, which changes the trade, because this has been the strongest stock, so is Microsoft. So if there were enough, maybe they would provide leadership and some enthusiasm. But since they both missed and they're lower, now the question is, can we hold these levels after a big rally? So if you look at Google, Google is basically priced near the highs of this overall move. Look where you are. This is your 52-week high. It was right here. It wasn't like it was in the bottom of the range pricing in a bad numbers or a bad earnings report. So right here is support number 1. And at this point, I think it's trading after hours around, this 740. So I think as long as it holds 740, it'll stay in this range. It's just not ready to break out. Microsoft, the same thing. It's had an enormous move trading back near 52-week highs. You take a look at the weekly chart of Microsoft, and the stock has had an unbelievable run. So if you've been an investor in Microsoft, you've never taken any pain. So a stock has to deliver on numbers when it's near highs. So now the question is, where can it find some support? Because that you can get a closer look at. You can have some support at 54, but I wouldn't be testing it there. You have the 50-day really at 53.41, and then it has to hold the 200-day. If these names don't hold their 200-day, you're going to see a lot of pressure in technology.
Last but not least, let's talk about Chinese concept stocks. How about Alibaba? How is it doing recently?
Recently, for the past few weeks, it's been doing much better. People say, how does a broken name,
right,
kind of re-energize itself? And they do that with a gap up that holds. Let me quickly show you what I mean with Baidu. Baidu basically, came back to life for me when you had this gap up right here, and it held. And then it reclaimed the 8 and 21-day moving average, and it's been in an uptrend ever since. Recently it's held in there, and it's, acting pretty well. The question is, will it hold up after Google? Really, what I wanted to talk to you guys was about BABA, because that's the one we've been very active in, which is the same thing though. Look, here's your gap up after a downtrend. It held, trapped them, and then started to go, and it's been above the 8 and 21 days since. You actually even had a breakout yesterday that now had an inside day. So overall, the trend in BABA off the lows has been intact. I would say for this to change to the downside, it's going to have to get a close below 78. So I would be long versus 78, and then potentially, if the market hangs in, it could get a move back up to this 86 level.
Wow, thank you, Scott. A lot happening right now. It's really interesting to see what happens tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, every day there's something different. So make sure you tune in and you find out where the action is to keep yourself profitable and safe.
好，感谢您收看本期的直击美股栏目，我是贝赛宁，我们下期节目再见。